All right. Amazing people. Exciting times. And I'm here to share another piece that will assist us into moving into higher vibrational timelines. It's a crazy time right now. Everything is being exposed. Everything that's been inverted is being shown to people. Those that are willing to pay attention, those that are willing to look within and look at the programming and possible wounds or trauma that they received by agreeing as part of their soul contract to come down into this incarnation right now at this incredibly exciting time. And so this one will not be for everybody. A lot of people are still not willing to look at the story that they've been telling, whether it's a victim story, whether it's a story of what somebody did to them, a parent, a father, a mother, a boyfriend, whatever. And so to move into higher vibrational timelines beyond 3D, hey, Robs, great to see you, brother. You always seem to catch me right on schedule. So thank you for that. Right back at you. So this topic is about why it's essential to do the inner healing. And first of all, you've got to be open-minded and willing to look at whether there's anything that still is coming up to be healed or cleared, okay? And this can be anything from a severe trauma, such as I journey with people that have been raped, molested, physically abused badly, in relationships with narcissistic people. It could be the male or the female. And they're still, when they get on the first call with me, when we go to do some journeying, they're telling their story of what happened to them, which is natural because we're sharing a dialogue of that which we are going to shine the light of our awareness on and clear. But in 9 out of 10 cases, maybe more, the person is still using what happened to them as their main story in life, and their ego is just, it's been holding on to it for decades that it really doesn't want to let it go, because if it did let it go, what would be the person's story then? Well, it would be freedom, for one thing, and 100% accountability, which is what it takes to move beyond, let's just call it 3D timelines, the lower vibrational timelines, where in the higher vibrational timelines, there is no judgment. There definitely is no being a victim. There's no resentment that we're holding on to, and there's no lack of forgiveness. So what I share that I've learned on my journey, if one is willing to look at it, will clear most traumas and wounds simply through ownership. So let's walk through it. So before we came here, we agreed to a soul contract. Hi, Claire. Ireland in the house. I love it. We agreed to what we were going to experience when we came in to this body, which is in a much lower density frequency than an unlimited, divine, multi-dimensional being that can do anything, be anywhere. No time, no disease, nothing but love and excitement and gratitude and compassion, the higher heart frequencies. So if one is willing to be open to that possibility, or for me, it's a fact that I chose every single thing that was going to happen to me in order to experience or maybe clear something from a past life, or to just assist in clearing it for the collective. Because we've all got similar things that we've gone through. It's just the story is a little bit different. So if you're willing to entertain the possibility or the fact that you chose every single thing that happened to you, no matter how traumatic it seemed, before you came in to this incarnation, then there's only one thing that makes sense. And that's to forgive every single person that played their role perfectly according to our soul contract. And if you can get to the point where you can actually thank them for perfectly playing their role, then you've cleared it. A little piece might come up later on from memory. I haven't figured out how to totally clear memory, but I believe that's coming as we move into these higher frequencies. Our DNA, more of our DNA comes online, and it's happening right now as we speak. So if anybody has any questions around this, feel free to pop it in. This is a safe, non-judgmental zone, and it opens up things for other people to feel like, okay, I can now comment or, share. So it works every time. So if anybody wants to pop in the first question, great. If not, I'll continue. So understanding that we must clear all of the old automatic reactions that are low frequency. So the number one addiction on the planet is judgment. It far outweighs drugs and alcohol, and it's judgment. If you begin to track your thoughts every day and be really honest and set your intention when you wake up in the morning, you're going to have an incredible day. You're loving on every one of your cells that's been unconditionally loving you every day. You know that your cells are listening? They're listening to every single thought that you think and speak, and the vibration that creates in your body when you think or speak that. And there's about 50 to 80,000 thoughts that are running every day, all day long. And normally, pretty much every day, they're the same loop of these thoughts running over and over and over. Hey, Wendy, great to see you. You caught me. So if you're willing to entertain this, then the way out, so to speak, is to go within and begin to start clearing these things. And maybe you've seen this, but the book, Waking Up in the Dream, comes with this daily tracking sheet. And it lists very simply the things to do throughout your day. And you just fill this sheet out at the end of the day. And you write in the number of the amount of times you caught yourself with an automatic judgment or a trigger. And in the beginning, you're not going to catch them all. But just the fact that you commit to ownership and go, okay, I know that all my judgments are about me. The 3D hologram that's out there is actually really happening all in here, even though it seems super real. You can go up and look into the eyes of another person. You can touch somebody. You can hug them. An animal, Mother Nature, hug a tree. It all seems very real. But the truth of it is it's all happening within. And I know it's a trip. But when we begin to take ownership and understand that every automatic reaction that we have that doesn't come from love, joy, compassion, gratitude, or excitement, or abundance, is something to clear and heal. And a lot of people don't like the word heal because then it makes them feel like they're messed up. Well, part of coming into 3D and coming into this body, we had to forget everything that we knew. Our memory, in most cases, got wiped. And then we had to go through the trauma of being birthed. And it's traumatic. And so as we move through these accelerating frequencies and timelines, and all this stuff is coming up to be cleared, it's going to be so in people's faces. It's going to be hugely shocking. And that's what it takes to awaken most people out of their automatic reactions. They're going to be forced to look at their stuff and own it and understand that every single person is their mirror. Now, when I say this, some people get triggered and send me comments or messages. No, these people that abuse me aren't my mirror. I'm not like that. The people that are, harming children or poisoning those, I understand. But those people are perfectly playing their role in order to play their part in the greatest awakening in recorded history that we know of. So at the end of the day, no matter how horrific these people have been or how many people they've been responsible for harming or killing, we're still going to have to forgive them. Why? Because if you're holding any percentage of unforgiveness or resentment towards anybody, you can't move in to 5D or beyond, just using numbers here. Higher frequency timelines, let's call it. Every one of these little dots is a timeline. And every single thing that could possibly ever happen already exists in the now, because there is no such thing as time. Now, getting back to 100% forgiveness, we must do it, especially starting with ourselves. We tend to hold a lot of judgment towards ourselves. I have held the not good enough program. That's what was ingrained in me in Catholic schools and from my uncle when my dad died. And, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. And I still play with that every day. But I see that it's not who I am. It's a program that was imposed on me from other people's programming. So it's okay to forgive yourself, no matter what you did. In the eyes of the Creator, which is actually you, co-creator, you're nothing but love and an unconditional loving being and an unlimited divine being that can never die, ever. So does anybody have it? Okay, here's a question. Thanks, Christine. Okay, great. Here we go. If the pain is still strong, how do we forgive the people who hurt us? Thank you so much for asking this question, because it's a super, super common question, and you had the courage to ask. I appreciate it. Here's another thing. Being 100% vulnerable and honest with ourselves is the way out. We can't keep holding these big force fields or, what do you call it? Shields around our emotions or traumas or wounds. We can't do it because we won't be able to move into the higher timelines. So this is all perfectly playing out right now. And yes, it can really suck and it can be painful. However, when we become the conscious observer and step back and go, okay, that happened decades ago. Okay? Do I still desire to carry that with me and block my ascension? And when we talk about ascension, in the past, it used to be taught that ascension was when somebody leaves their body or they're of a higher divine frequency and they move out of this human body. Well, right now, we have the opportunity, perhaps for the first time, to ascend into higher frequency timelines while still in this body. I know there's so much to process in just living and making it through each day right now with all the fuckery that's going on. However, this is the practice and this is a commitment to awaken every single morning and go, all right, I get another day. And you smile because it raises your vibration and you love on your body. And then you consciously, intentionally create your reality. And everything that you speak, see, and feel, you see it as if it's already happened. It's already here. Because you must tell the subconscious that it's already here or it's not going to be here. And I have a lot of videos on that on my YouTube channel. So let's get back into this. How do we forgive the people who hurt us if the pain is still strong? Understand, or at least be open, you don't have to believe me, that you chose this as part of your soul contract. And again, I know It doesn't make sense to a loving, kind being, which is what you really are at your core. When people used to tell me, you chose this as part of your soul contract, for probably a couple decades, I said, there's no way that I would ever chosen this amount of pain and suffering in my life. There's no way. And then I held on to that story for a couple decades, and it got me nowhere. So then I finally went, okay, what's the fast track? What's the fast track? What's the get out of hell free card? It's understanding you chose it for some reason, which you may not know now, but you will later if you decide to go, okay, I don't know if this guy that sounds a little bit crazy to me right now is telling the truth, but nothing else that I've done has worked yet. So how about if I just give this a try? And if it doesn't work, I can just go back to, see, I'm a victim and I'm going to hold on to this for the rest of my life. And then you'll reincarnate and you'll keep attracting people that will mirror that uncleared wound or trauma to you. This is advanced, I would say. And yet at the same time, if you're really willing to be honest, we are still in kindergarten. We're still in nursery school compared to the magnificence that we are. And we are so loved by the Creator, which is us as well, that our minds in 3D cannot even process the magnitude of how much we are loved. And it cannot process the magnitude of our unlimited, okay? And really study that word. I would write that down in capital letters and post it somewhere in your house or on the rear view mirror of your car or whatever. Do you play with the fact that you are 100% unlimited? That means if you're experiencing lack or dramas or anything, there is something else that's so much larger that's attempting to come through. So if you're experiencing any challenges in your life, or you don't like your job and you're just doing it because I have to do it to pay the bills, I invite you to truly look at that story, because usually it's like, well, this is the best thing that I can, find right now. And I'd really love to be an artist or help animals or children or the earth or plant gardens or share all my skills in something that I'm really passionate about, but I don't know how to do it. And I don't currently believe that the universe will support that. So I'm going to stay locked into my job. I'm going to work until I'm 65, give up the best years of my life so that then I can become retired, which is a spell word. Re means to recycle. Tired, you know what that means. So maybe this reflection will sink in a little bit deeper this time, like it did with me. And I got out of that 9-to-5 system. I had to. I got injured. I got carpal tunnel. I got shingles on my chest that I broke out. It was awful, but it was like a wake-up call. And I was like, nope, I'm just going to do recording. I'm going to move in and live in my recording studio for 27 years. So I don't have to pay for another house. And I just built up my studio. Now, whatever your passion is, whatever you would really love to do, I would write that down in a journal. If I could do anything without any excuses, this is what I'd love to do. And then find a way to do that. And if you need assistance, reach out to me or somebody else that you trust that has these tools that can mirror you and show you the program really, really quickly, like on the first call. Okay, so back to Christine's wonderful question. And then Wendy has a question that I'll get to. So if you're open to the possibility or fact that you chose everything as part of your soul contract, because you're an unlimited divine being, why would you have chosen that horrific trauma or pain? Why? Because you knew that you would remember this time. And by choosing what you went through, you could become an example through that experience. You can read about things but unless you've experienced it, you don't really own the frequency. And when you begin to clear that and you speak and share your message, your compassion with other people, they feel it because it's real and it's 100% authentic. So what I've found in journeying with people is the people that have been through the deepest shit are the ones that go on to create really huge impact with other people. So again, if the pain is strong, I would sit with it. I would breathe through it. And I wouldn't just do this one time. I would make it a habit to do it every morning or every evening and do it for 30 days at least. And some days you may not feel it, and other days you'll have tears streaming down your face. Tears are healing. We've been taught that tears are shame, or to be shamed about them. I'll give you something to cry about. You know, that's what your parents or other people said. No. Tears are the most healing. It's like an orgasm. It's completely letting go, dropping into the heart, and getting out of the story that's been looping forever. So again, complete 100% forgiveness. I see people that post things and they go, I'll forgive you, but I'll never forget. That means you're still holding a discordant frequency of resentment. You're saying that you're forgiving, but your ego isn't willing to do it. So it's not going to work. So when you can actually say, thank you for perfectly playing your role. And I know this could trigger somebody because I journey with people that have been raped and molested, and I don't tell them on the first call, thank them. They're going to frickin' think I'm an idiot. However, when you can thank somebody, you know you've cleared it. And the memory may come back, and the pain may come back at some point. But you go, okay, you stop and you breathe, like it's taught in the waking up in the dream process. And you go, okay, here's another piece. This is still trying to show me or teach me that I'm holding on to a little piece. And I haven't figured out a way to delete the memory of the things that I chose to happen to me, such as my dad dying when I was 7 in a plane crash, and my uncle used to take me into the garage and beat me with a big board on my ass, and that's what he learned from his parents. And they just pass it down. And so my commitment is I'm not going to pass this down. I'm going to do my best to clear this stuff in this lifetime for myself, the collective, and the children. So does that make sense, Christine? And do you have a follow-up question to that? If you're not sure, feel free to post that in. So let's go to my dear friend Wendy's. I have a beloved friend who just had cancer show up. Can you speak on why illness will manifest in the body? Okay, first of all, I have a mantra that's 3 words. I have a couple mantras that are 3 words. But one for Jeff is, I know nothing. I do a lot of research, though, and I understand frequency and vibration. So, the people that I know that have cured themselves from cancer, they have really gone deep within and got in touch. Usually cancer is created through a mental wound, or, as many of us know, it could be from food or what we drink, all the sugars or toxic stuff that we put in our body, which is why it's really important to detox. Really important, now more than ever. And I'll do an upcoming live on a detox and the things that I do every day, such as drinking borax, chlorine dioxide solution, methylene blue, Lugol's iodine, and the other one, baking soda, water, and lime or lemon, which alkalizes your body. So I'll do a live on that. So back to this question, why illness will manifest in the body? Because we're probably still holding on to something from either a past life or this life that's coming up to be healed and cleared. So number one, and I know you know this, Wendy, you don't go to the Rockefeller-trained hospitals and do what they say. You find alternative, healthy, natural supplements. You go in and really get in touch. In other words, no resistance. It's there. So if we resist it or we're angry at it or whatever, that's just going to compound the lower frequency. So we look at it to the best of our ability, even if we're in fear, which is totally natural, and go, okay, I know I'm an infinite, unlimited divine being. Keywords, infinite and unlimited. The perfect people are showing up in my reality now every day to assist me with this, with their wonderful, unconditional compassion and love and information on how they did it. And if you're drinking, there's chlorine dioxide CDS solution, also called MMS. There's groups on Telegram where this stuff is being shared every day and all the things that it clears. Same thing with methylene blue. I know the words might sound cryptic if you haven't heard of these two things, but they're the things that they didn't want you to hear about, which is why they've been hidden and why borax has been banned in over 30 countries. Because it's not just for washing your clothes. That's just what they sell it as. It's for clearing and healing and detoxing the body. The same thing with diatomaceous earth. Charcoal tablets, activated charcoal. This is stuff that we're invited to be doing on a daily, weekly basis, as well as intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is when you go at least 16 hours until your next meal. So I used to eat 3 meals a day. The mind, whatever you get in a pattern of, the mind's going to keep doing that. But once I found out about intermittent fasting, I was like, okay, some people said they stop eating by 3 or 4 p.m. So that means from 4 p.m. to midnight, that's 8 hours already. And then you go to sleep and, another 8 hours until you wake up, or 8 a.m., that's 16 hours. Your body's been able to fast and detox things. And a lot of you have probably done 3-day fasts or even longer, where all you do is drink water. And the body goes into, the stomach stops processing, and you go into that detox. And it's very powerful. And all this information can be found online or on Telegram channels. Don't use Gaggle. Everything on there is inverted for the most part. So you're welcome. So, I don't have all the answers, but the number one answer is to get very, very present and go, why would I have chosen this? And the ego is going to go, I didn't choose this. And you're just going to go, okay, ego, you can go sit in the corner. We're going to go deeper than that right now. Okay? We're going to go deeper. We're going to get really intimate with ourselves. And we're going to see if there's any anger, resentment, hatred, self not being good enough, whatever it is. And we set our intention that whatever this cancer may be or any other disease, I'm asking my higher self, my higher soul self, to bring the information to me through whatever channels or multiple streams that I am, capital I, capital A-M. And whenever you declare something, if you smile, it relaxes your body and raises your frequency and amplifies that intention. And then you go to the next level where I'm so grateful that my body is perfectly healed now. Now that may trigger the ego too. And I'll tell you, I understand. I have back pain and I've been playing, keyword, with clearing it for 2 years. I'm out there riding on a scooter every day, going to see the wild doggies, feeding them, giving them medicine. And then I'm at the computer. I'm dealing with people in a lot of different time zones all over the world. Sometimes I do sessions in the morning, which are their night times. Sometimes I'll do sessions at night with people because it's their morning. So I understand where some of my back pain came from. And then also, I've been doing some cranial sacral work. In the first session that I did, when the woman was doing her thing on me, I felt all this sadness come up. I was like, wow, I'm here to heal my back. My muscle's super tight. But I felt all this emotion, like really strong sadness come up. And I didn't know it was there. So this is the key, using these tools, you know. I'm going to tell you, I'm not big into being a salesman at all, because I don't really like to be sold, but I love information that changes my life. But this process and this daily tracking sheet is the fastest thing I've ever found. And I'm all about fast, accelerated. So, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, I don't have all the answers, but definitely when they say the answers are within, whoever they are, us in a previous incarnation or whatever, it's true. And using all natural supplements. But let me grab the name of this Telegram channel real quick. I believe, well, one of them on Telegram is called the Universal Antidote. There's another one. Yeah, the Universal Antidote. Here it is. Yeah, the Universal Antidote. It talks about dementia gone, toxic chemicals removed with the Universal Antidote, which is chlorine dioxide solution. It's easy to make or to find. It's easy to drink. It's not intense at all. I drink a liter every day, not straight, pure, a liter of water with about 15 to 20 milliliters of chlorine dioxide solution. But you want to start out with just like 5 milliliters. And I know if you haven't heard about this before, it sounds like rocket science or anything, but believe me, if I can do it, you can do it. So, yeah. And if you can't find it, Wendy, send me a message and I'll go in and get their URL or whatever. But if you just go to Telegram and type in the Universal Antidote, that group will come up. And then there's another group they have called the Universal Antidote Videos. And I guess they're separate groups because there's so much information there. And I mean, the thread, there's like hundreds of people in there every day with testimonials and asking questions. And they're really on top of it. So I highly recommend that. Does anybody have any questions about clearing or healing or forgiving anyone? And can you see that there may still be some resistance from the ego because that story's been running for decades about what they did to you? This is where becoming the calm, conscious, neutral observer. Neutral means you're simply observing and you're using one of another 3-word mantra that I love, which is, isn't that interesting? No matter what's going on, they're poisoning you. Isn't that interesting? Because if you get upset, I mean, you can take action. We all are, to stand up and say, this is wrong. Do not harm the children, which is hugely being exposed right now. But if you can write down the mantra, isn't that interesting? And you can hold a neutral observation, practice that. Because you're not going to be pulled back down into 3D over and over and over. Here's a question. This is a great question. I love this one. Because a lot of people post on Facebook and social media, if you get a bad feeling about somebody when you meet them, run as fast as you can. I don't necessarily agree with that. Because here's the 2 pieces to that. from doing inner journeying with people for 23 years. If somebody mirrors back to you an icky or triggered feeling, it could be because they're mirroring back or holding a frequency that you may still be holding within. So this is when I take a breath and I go, isn't that interesting? I'm getting this hit right away, but since I'm committed to doing the inner work, I'm going to ask myself, is there anything that I'm holding within still that's making my ego go, this is or maybe a bad person? That way you're covering all the bases. Really, really key, because so many people just blame what's out there, and out there is a mirror. I'm not saying everybody that we run into that may be a bad person is showing us that we're holding that within, but we must look at it as part of our daily toolkit for clearing and healing and raising our conscious awareness. I intend that covers that. So, any other questions from anybody? Does anybody have any questions where you're sitting back and you're going, I really want to ask this question, but I'm afraid people might judge me, or I'm the only one? Or you're not the only one. We've all got this stuff. It was all part of our agreement. We've all got different stories and different things that happen to us, but we've all got stuff. You can't come into a human body and not have stuff. Okay? So, I'm going to wrap up here. And if anybody's interested in going deeper or would like to do some private one-on-one journeying with me, I do 30 days with people, I do 90 days, and some people desire to do a year. I'll just post a link in here. It's all easily findable on my website, Portal to Awakening. But anybody have a question about anything? Doesn't have to be on this topic. It could be about how do I clear old loops, or how do I clear my belief system? If you go to my YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening, there's hours and hours and hours and hours where I walk through this stuff. Basically, hey, brother, great to see you. Thank you so much. Yeah. We're doing this. We came here to do this. We're aligning with the like-minded people. The more we hold love and non-judgment in our frequency, the more we magnetize in people and events and synchronicities that are on that same frequency. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes when I post a link in here, it splits it up because you can only have so much text. So thank you for sharing that. And here's something from Rob. Great. Recently, a friend pushed me away. How do I forgive or return to loving friends? Okay. Number one, when anything happens to us that may trigger us or makes us feel bad or whatever, the first thing to do is 100% ownership. What role did I play? Did I bother this person with something that I was doing that I maybe wasn't aware of? Or did I trigger this person because I'm sharing things that they may not want to look at? So you've got to understand that people are going to come in and out of our lives more than ever right now. Because, over the last 3 years, we've been judged for not giving in to taking and a lot of people lashed out at us because of what they were brainwashed into believing. So the second part, how do I forgive? Well, this whole thing's been about forgiveness. Know that forgiveness is key. Otherwise, your internal magnet is holding a lack of forgiveness, and you're going to keep magnetizing people and situations and events that are going to keep mirroring that to you until you understand this and clear it. And if that person is supposed to be in your life, they will come back. So yeah. So if you feel pushed away, that can kind of feel like uncomfortable, painful maybe, but don't be a victim. Observe neutrally and go, isn't that interesting? Okay, what role did I play in this separation? Own it. Own it. Even if you talk too much or you push your views or, you're pushing people to, wake up or whatever. People do not really respond to being pushed because that energy and frequency is sticky and it makes them feel like they need to protect themselves and pull back. So I'm not projecting that you did any of this. I'm just stating this is what we do as human beings until we don't do it anymore. Belief system forced on us? Yep. I've done so many videos on beliefs because this whole entire book, for the most part, is about healing and dismantling limiting beliefs. And here's the thing about beliefs. None of our beliefs are our own. They all came from outside of us. And the belief system is actually a tiny, tiny, tiny little prison. Your beliefs wouldn't even fit on the end of a pin compared to the information that's out there and ever expanding at all times. So the belief system is a prison. Yeah, I've said it. It is. It's a prison. Unless all your beliefs is, I'm love, I'm infinite, I'm infinitely abundant. Money flows to me. I'm surrounded by abundance, which we all are. It's just that we've been taught to focus on the lack of money because money's been the control mechanism of those that are running the governments and all this stuff. So when you say blackmail from family members, I don't really know what that means. I know that family members will judge you. I don't know how they can really blackmail you. But look, all the people I journey with and all the mentors that I invest in for my next level, leaps, bounds, ascensions, whatever, clarity, usually there's one person in a family that's awake and the rest of the family is not. That's usually. So instead of being in resistance to these people, how about thanking them for bringing you into this life, giving you the gift of life, because you obviously, as I spoke about at the beginning of this, have a soul contract. So if you guys aren't on the same page, you can still love them, send them love, love, love. You're not above them. No judgment. When we send love to somebody, if there's any judgment around it, that's not love. But you can pull back and just hold a loving frequency. They've already completed their part of your soul contract for the most part. Maybe there's more, maybe there's not. But you're getting an opportunity right now to go, oh, here's a different take on what happened and what I chose and who I chose to be my family, immediate family. Most everybody I know that chose to awaken, their family doesn't understand. It's okay. So do your best to eliminate any sticky frequencies in the story, and stand up for yourself and say, if you're going to judge me, then, there's no point in having these conversations. I love you, but this is where I draw the line. And when you can say that without raising your voice and being triggered, and be in your heart, I love you, but I'm on a different path. I'm willing to look and go deep, way beyond anything that was taught in history or fake science or the fake medical system where they push poison. That could possibly get my video deleted on YouTube. They're going back like 6 to 8 months and removing my videos if I say anything like that. So I can't edit that out because this is live, but whatever. The message is getting to people that desire to get this reflection. And I'm just speaking to Jeff every time just to remind him. So again, forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Okay, Rob. It has strained our mutual friends too. Well, isn't that interesting? And it's all perfect. So here's another mantra that's in the waking up in the dream process. Anytime you're triggered or have a less than thought, stop. Take a breath. Smile, because it relaxes your body. You don't want your body to take the hit for every emotional trigger and judgment and fear that you have. No, this body loves you unconditionally. So take a breath and then ask the $1 trillion question. What is this attempting to show me or teach me about me? What is this attempting to show me or teach me about me? It's not about them. They're your teachers. And if you don't get it, it's going to show up again and again and again and again until we get it. It's really pretty simple when you figure out how it works. It's not always comfortable, but it is a gift. What is this attempting to show me or teach me about me? And the other piece of that is, what is the gift here? There's always a gift, but if the ego says it's not a gift and it projects, then you have to relive it again over and over and over and over and over. What is the gift here? I would write this stuff down because on social media, and I do this too, I'm scrolling, looking for a feel-good hit. And your ego may go, oh, that sounds really good. But if you don't write it down and make it part of your daily practice, your mind's going to resort to those automatics that have been running for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. That's why this is the biggest game changer I've ever found. And there's other great things out there too, but I'm all about simple and fast. And you know what? For the investment, this book and tracking sheet, half price right now, $22. It'll change the way you see and manifest your entire reality. So just putting it out there. Your dad, your best. I'm not sure if I understand that one. But anyway, so unless anybody has any other questions, we covered a lot here. And we really covered the process of inner forgiveness and inner healing. And yeah, a lot of people are going to see this. So if this resonated with you, please feel free to share it. Because these are the keys, these are the tools. No matter what's coming up, these are the tools. And that's why I love sharing this stuff with people, because the results are truly, truly life-changing. But you have to commit to going through this process at least 30 days. And if you get the online digital course, there's PowerPoint trainings where it shows you exactly what the ego does, really tricky, and why it does it. And when you see it, you'll go, oh, almost everybody's doing that and feeling justified. Because when they have a feeling or a trigger or a judgment, they get this emotional hit in their body. And that tricks them into believing that they're right. They're not right. They're just triggered. Yeah, super, super key. So anyway, big love to everybody. And again, if this resonates with you, please share it with people that are open. And if you're interested in doing some journeying, I offer a 30-minute free call, discovery call, no pressure, no sales. I'm not interested in pulling anybody uphill or talking them into why this course is so powerful. If you know it and you're like, I'm ready, reach out. I'll get on a call. And if you decide not to do it, you'll still learn something very valuable. So anyway, big love from Thailand. And yeah. Oh, okay. Let me see what Wendy says here. Thank you so much for the kind reflection. I love you too. Wendy's a great person to check out with all the wonderful things she shares. And she has a podcast with some really high level, high frequency people that you can learn a lot from. And definitely worth checking out. Sending her lots of love. Yeah, we all do, you know. And I would replace the word work with I have some playing to do. Work is a very heavy word. It's got a very heavy, dense frequency to it. So I invite people to play with these tools, because the words that we send into our body, they affect our cells. So work is a really heavy word. So I've got a whole video on spell words, the 9 most used spell words that everybody's using, even the most spiritual people are using: want, wish, hope, need, try, should, going to. And then a lot of people are using hard and difficult. I know, but it's really hard. So when you tell your subconscious that, your subconscious goes, let's make it hard. And when you use want, wish, hope, need, try, should, that tells your subconscious the desire is still not here yet. So eliminate those words. I've got a free video on my website, and I just added to the updated Waking Up in the Dream book. That's a bonus chapter at the end. And it tells you which words to substitute for those other words. Yeah. Yeah, brother, thank you so much. You've caught like my last 3 or 4 lives. So thank you for showing up and investing your time. And I intend that whatever I've shared, opens up some big portals, because it definitely changed my life. Totally changed my life. That's why I do this. So paying it forward, and again, reminding myself. So big, big love from Thailand. And yeah, thank you so much for everybody that's hung on here for 52 minutes. And again, if it resonates with you, please share, get it out there. And totally appreciate you guys. Big, big love. All right, here we go.